Good morning, Charger Artist. For the past couple of videos, I've been talking to you about you making some video tutorials for our library by Chargers for Chargers. And what I'd like to do now is to break it down, a couple of the nuts and the bolts of how to make these tutorial videos. I realize that this is the one new part of our art classes that we haven't really done in class before. We've used Google Classroom, we've turned things in online and digitally, we've done a lot of digital art. But this is the first time that we've been using things like QuickTime Player, like all of these YouTube stuff, things and stuff. So I have just a few pointers that I want to throw out there to you. I've got, when I say a few, we're looking at like 6 things. So this may be a video to explain part of what we need to do to make these videos the best that they can be. First of all, we need to make sure that the content is interesting. If you're passionate about what you're doing, it's going to show. If you feel excited about your project, other people are going to feel excited about your project. And honestly, if you're bored, you're doing it wrong, because nobody told you to pick that certain content that bores you. So if you're bored, pick something that's not boring. It's pretty simple. You also need to consider your audience. If you're an Art 1 student making a project for other Art 1 students, you're going to have a different tone than if you're like an advanced art student making a tutorial for elementary kids that are sitting at home with their parents. And find the audience that's best for you. Find the people that you have the most to offer to, and adjust accordingly. People are also kind of stuck at home. So as far as your content being interesting, it also needs to be viable. Think about things that people can do with what they have at home. For example, I may do some tutorials on how to paint little miniature things, because I think it's likely that people have some little tubes of paint at home, that have little things to paint. It's less likely that I'm going to do a video on how to carve alabaster stone as a tutorial. I may do it as something fun for you to watch, but I'm not going to sit there and expect everybody to have hammers and chisels and alabaster stone to carve. So think about that whenever you're making your tutorials. Also, think about your presentation. Friendly, interesting presentation. Have some flair. Have some style to this. If you are very monotone, hello, my name is Michael, and I'm going to show you the most boring video ever, people aren't going to want to watch that. So I kind of did a little research into the people that do this on YouTube, and they recommend to have a YouTube personality. Have a YouTube flair. If you're the kind of person that either enjoys to be on camera and to be seen, or at least can handle it, it's not going to totally put you over the edge, then spend some time thinking about what makes you you. Is there something about the environment or the way you look, or maybe you have some certain habits that everybody knows, and that can be kind of a part of what makes them identify you, and it kind of makes them feel like they know you a little bit better. Create a YouTube personality. I've got a link that I'm going to put in your Google Classroom, I want to say description, because that's what they always say on YouTube. And that's got a link to this crazy lady that gives us hints on how to be rememberable. Feel free to go over the top. Feel free to be a little bit extra. If you're the kind of person that can put on a costume and some funny glasses and a mask or whatever, then go for it. You know, it's not the time for you to have to feel like you need to be a little bit reserved. For some of us, your heart rate just went up about 13 points, and you're like, he wants me to do what? Oh, no. You're not required to do your videos this way. There are lots and lots of crafting videos and videos from home where the presenter just has the camera on their hands, and they're showing you what to do, and there's words at the bottom, or there's a voiceover, there's music in the background, because some of us would rather chew glass than be on camera in front of everybody. I get that, and this is not something that I want to give you extra stress. It's supposed to help take away your stress. So please, if you're the kind of person that the camera is not an option, find the option that is an option. It's not going to hurt your grade. It's not going to hurt my feelings. I just want you to make some videos, help some people. Make sure that your topic is relevant. It's good for beginning art students or advanced art students. It's kind of a repeat of something that I said earlier, so I'm going to move on to the video quality, the editing and the nuts and the bolts of it. For example, I need you to do your filming in landscape, not vertical, not in portrait. If you do your video in portrait, it's not the size of the screen. You want it to be the size of people's screen when they're at home on the computers. Going up and down, it's I guess fine for Instagram and for other things, but for this sort of a project, we want landscape. If you've got bad audio and bad video, it's going to turn people off. There are some people that will actually get sick if your camera's shaking around and the video and the audio, it's a bunch of wind and a bunch of distractions. So put a little bit of effort into preparing to have your video easy for people to watch. So guys, here's like the video that I'm doing for you to show. I've got some stuff to show you what to do and what not to do. There's some things right there. I know you're gonna like it. And I think that if you come over here and you look at this part of my shop, then you'll see that there's a lot of really good things for you to do on this video. And I don't think it'll be a problem for you to enjoy this example of the wrong thing to do. You probably don't want to be swinging your phone and your camera back and forth to give people vertigo while they're trying to watch your video. If you have to, because I've had to do this, take 2 or 3 videos, 2 or 3 shots. Pick the best one. If you're good at editing with iMovie, you can kind of splice some of the best parts together. It doesn't have to be a one-shot, one-take thing. For some of you, it may be. You may be just wonderful at this. So you do you. You do need to plan in advance. There is a nice spontaneous quality if you just jump on the camera and you do what you're going to do. And if it's part of your flair and it's part of what you're doing and it makes it interesting, then go for it. But if you're like me, you might need a little checklist. You might need a little bit of something to keep you from getting distracted. I'm going to give you some links to YouTube, because YouTube has some free audio music that you can download. There are also tons of places you can go to download things for free, but 90% of them are clickbait. YouTube has a very reliable, you download this, it's royalty free, you can put it in your music, and there's not a bunch of weirdness that's going to jump on your computer because of it. So that link will be there. I checked screen capture with Screencastify and Google the QuickTime Player that comes with your computer. Screencastify is a Chrome add-on, and it works very well, but you don't get the actual movie file. You don't get the .mp4 or the .mov file that you can edit and you can work with and you can own. It's like saved on their server. I think if you're able to use the QuickTime Recorder, if you're doing like a Blender tutorial or a Photoshop tutorial, get comfortable with using that QuickTime Recorder, and it's got the option to use your microphone so that you can talk. It's you can record your audio separately and put it together. I feel like it'll be a little bit more versatile for us, and the school's already given it to us. I'm going to include a link to some instructions on how to make that work, and that'll be in the spread. If you need to, you can use your phone as an audio recording device. You can use, it's called the voice memo. You can turn on voice memo, and you can show a picture of something that you're doing and talk over it. Throw that into the iMovie, and easily have a lot of control over what your video looks and sounds like. I've been saying iMovie a lot, and I'm going to look at the first batch of videos, first batch of tutorials, and see how it goes. If I need to, I'm going to research and dig up some instructions and tutorials and some help for us to use iMovie. But if it looks like most of us pretty much think iMovie is easy and you don't even know why I think it would be a problem, then we're just going to use iMovie. It'll be fun. Please turn it in on time. The easiest thing for me personally is if they're all turned in on time and I don't have to chase down loose ends. I mean, they give me money for it and that's what I'm going to do, but if you can get your stuff turned in on the Fridays that they're due, that's going to help out a lot. We're going to have one grade a week. We're not going to turn in things like goal charts or midway points. We're going to turn in weekly projects that I will grade and get back to you by that Monday, Lord willing. You want to plan it out first. You want to film it. You want to work on your audio, and then you're going to edit it down. That's going to take several days, and so you might want to break that up into doable chunks. Maybe today I film it, or Monday I plan it. Tuesday I film it. Wednesday I work on the audio. Thursday I'm going to edit it all together, and then Friday I'm going to turn that bad boy in. Shouldn't be more than just a little bit of time every day. It should be kind of fun. If it's not fun, you're doing it wrong. And I think that's all I've got to say about making tutorial videos. Except for I need you to be creative, need you to be safe, and for the love, wash your hands.